Hello.
Hello, Mr. Faizan. Hello, can you upload the file, please?
Fine. I'm trying to upload it.
Hello, Mr. Said. Hello, it's Vida here.
Okay, Miss Vida, very good.
Yes. Mr. Faizan sent the slide to me. Then, if you make me host, I can upload it for you.
Okay, let me make you the host and then you can upload the file.
Just please,
Okay.
whatever happens, you don't need to end in the living or end the meeting room. You just close the window.
Yeah.
But don't end the meeting.
Yes, I'm so sorry. That was my first time I was a host. I'm so sorry. It was my mistake.
No problem.
Yeah. I just the file is not on. I should share the file, huh?
Yes, please share the file.
Yes, the file is not on. They're off. All the sign are off.
Sorry?
Should I do anything else?
What happened, Miss Vida?
I go to share, but all the program are off. The light is not on.
Oh, I'm not sure. Let me. Can you, Mr. Faizan, can you make Miss Vida a presenter also?
Yes. Should be like this, I think.
Okay. Now I think you should do.
Yes.
You should have the control. Am I right?
Yes. Now it's okay. Yes.
Okay.
File. Okay. Just now I open it. Okay. Can you see it?
Yes. Exactly.
Oh.
So now you just change the role. I mean, make Miss Faizan to host and presenter both.
Yes.
Host and presenter. Okay. Thank you.
Change role to. I change role to presenter.
Okay.
Okay?
Right. Yes. Thank you. That's good.
Thank you so much, Mr. Said. Sorry to disturb you.
No, it's okay. So no problem.
Thank you very much for your help.
Thank you so much. So to those who are in the class already, if you know your classmate, okay, please tell them to use the new link. The new link has been sent to them just now. We ask them to use the new link. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, so thank you, Mr. Said, for the help.
You're welcome. No problem, Mr. Faizan. Anytime.
Yeah, because I was very panicked, actually suddenly everything closed and then nothing is working, so.
No, it's all right. No problem.
Okay, no problem then.
Okay.
So
Actually, I sent a new link to everybody. Okay, I send a new link, email them to everybody, and put it on the Facebook. Hope everybody can see the new link and join it with that one. Okay, you just made.
We can wait for a few minutes. Let's see.
Yes, please. Yeah, for 5 minutes to everybody join, then you can start it. Yeah. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you. So,
Mr. Said, excuse me. So sorry. You maybe changed my role from host to yourself.
oh no, you have to change it yourself. You have to put right click on Mr. Faizan, okay?
Okay.
And change the role to the host. Mr. Faizan,
Okay.
change. Yeah.
Understand. Yes, understand.
All right. Very good.
Okay.
Okay. So
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good morning.
Okay. Have a good night. Bye.
Good night, everybody, and enjoy the class. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, so we can wait for maybe a few minutes, maybe 2 to 3 minutes more, and see if anybody else can join the class. Then we can start. Okay, I think I wanted to discuss a few things with all the students because I got a few emails today and yesterday from the students about the assignment. Can I ask if my voice is clear today? Is it clear or not? Okay, so I don't know how many people are going to come to the class today, but I suppose I can start telling you, and later on you can tell your friends about all these things. Because if I keep waiting, then maybe I think we will waste a lot of time. So I'll start discussing these few things, which is very, very important because I got a few emails today. First of all, one thing, yes, the last time when I gave you the assignment, I gave you one email address which is right now on your screen as well, which is supportforstudy@hotmail.com. I could only get email on another email address and not this one. So please make sure that everybody listens to the requirements and to what I'm saying very clearly. Okay, because I've got two email addresses, and then I usually check this supportforstudy@hotmail.com very often. So please, next time whenever there is an assignment, please send it on this email which is on the slide. Okay, another thing is that uh, what I am saying is, yes, I've got your emails about the assignment, but I got them on another email address. Just I'm requesting all of you to next time whenever you have to send me the assignment, please send it on this email which is right in front of you on the slides, supportforstudy@hotmail.com. Okay, so one is this thing. Another thing is that related to this one, that when I talk about when I talk about the requirements of assignments, so please make sure that you are listening to the assignment requirements very carefully. If you remember last time in the end of the class, I keep asking 4 or 5 times that if you are not clear about the requirements, please ask me questions. Even 2 or 3 students asked questions and I answered them very detailed. So please listen to the requirements very carefully, right? I remember last time I told everybody that I want one Word document plus 3 PDF files, those PDF files which you have used for your assignment. I got a few assignments with the PDF files, but I got a lot of assignments which are just one Word document. There are no PDF files. So this is also very important. So whenever I'm giving you assignments, it's important for you for your own future as well. I don't want links. See, I don't have enough time to go onto the links and then open those links and download those things because I'm busy with other things as well. So please, when you are doing your assignment, you have already downloaded it. All you have to do is that just follow the requirements. And those people who have followed the requirements, no need to write things in the chat box. No need to write that I have done it, I have done this, I have done that, because I am talking to the whole class, right? So I know I said some of the people have sent PDF files, some of them did not. So please, it's no need to clarify it. I'm just telling you that uh, next time make sure that you follow the requirements, right? Uh, this is about the requirements what I'm telling you. So not for this assignment, I will not mark anybody low for the not following the requirements. Next time uh, there would be a punishment. Next time I would definitely be uh, cutting up the marks, right? Those people who did not send me the PDF files by tomorrow, please send me the PDF files with Word document again. Those people who did not send PDF files, right? So this is one thing I wanted to talk. Another thing I wanted to say is deadline. The most important thing is deadline. Vida, if you remember last time I said download 3 PDF files and do those assignments from the PDF file. And those PDF files which you downloaded, you have to send them to me, right? So this one. The second thing is deadline. Deadline is very important. Last time I told people that I need these assignments before the next class. So even now, before the class started, I think 1 minute or 2 minutes before the class started, I got assignment from one student by name of Muhibullah Qadri, right? So Muhibullah just sent me this assignment 1 minute before the class and it's okay. I accept it because it's still before the class. Even I got from Nisar, uh, maybe from Nisar I got it 10 or 15 minutes before the class. It's okay because I got it before the class. The deadline was the class. Now let me tell you how many people have in total. How many as people I have in the class? In total, we have 24 people, I think, in this class, right? And out of 24 people, I have only got one. I've only got 9 assignments out of 24, right? Now, in the last class, I've been telling everybody again and again that the assignments are important and I want them before the deadline. The deadline was the class, so I can do one thing which is very simple, and it's because it's the first assignment. For second assignment, if nobody sends it before the deadline, it would be a 0, right? So later on, I won't be responsible for this. Now, yes, I said I have received it from 9 people, right? Um, so it's okay. Out of 24, I've received it from 9 people. Now another thing, let me put it here very simple, okay? On here. Okay, so if you look at your screen, this is how your results would be, okay? I've got the student numbers, I've got the student numbers, I've got the student name. Then you have got assignment 1, which is 15%. I said it last time. The one I gave last week, this is assignment 1. Next assignment I will be giving you a next session, which would be again 15%. So altogether these two assignments are 30%. And then the final assignment is 70%. So the final assignment would be 70%, and out of all these, the total marks would be 100%, and you will be marked out according to that. Now, for those for whom it's not visible, do one thing. In the bottom of your whiteboard, if you see, there is a zoom in and zoom out button. Kindly zoom it in a little bit so you can see it clearly. Okay, just let me explain how it will work out. Yes, yes, only the first row is visible, because only first row I have put here. I don't want to put other things. So only the first row is visible. Right? Now we have 3 type of people.
من یه امکان نداره که دوران تبلیغ صبحانه گلستان خانم باشه.
Mohammed Sahab, please mute yourself. Yes, it would be only first row because I only paste the first row here. Now we have 3 type of people in the class at the moment. Those people who did it completely fine, it's okay with them. Those people who did it partially okay means Partially okay are those people who send me the assignment already, but they missed some part of the assignment, right? Okay, for these people, there will be no problem. Only and only if they can send me those things which they did not send by tomorrow. So if in tomorrow I get their email with those things which they did not do today or in the last week, send me it till tomorrow and it's fine, no problem with you because you have anyway done your assignment. Okay, okay. Now for those who did not do it, usually I give a 0 to those people who did not do it, right? It's not because I am very strict or it's not about I don't want to give you marks or whatever. It's just to make everybody equal. In total, we have 24 students, out of which only 9 students did the work. Now, only 9 students did the work. If I did not give any punishment to those other 15 students, it's not equal with these 9 students who did the work. So we have to make the things very equal, right? I understand some people might have problem of internet. I also understand that some people might go out of the city or whatever, but this assignment was not very difficult and this assignment was only, if you work out on it, maybe it will only take you 1 hour to 2 hours and I have given 1 week to do this assignment, right? So there is one problem now. I will give you a chance, 3 days. Those people who did not do their assignment, the third party, I will just give you 3 days. So I want this work by Friday night 9 o'clock Afghanistan time. Friday night 9 o'clock, if I get your work, it's okay. If no, it will be a 0. But remember, those people who will send me this work, who did not send me till yesterday, their marks will be 10%, not 15%. 5% will be deducted because of not doing the assignment for the first time. And remember, again and again, I'm telling you, I'm just giving this chance because it's the first time. If next time this type of thing happen, it will be a 0%. So this time I'm giving a chance, next time it would be a 0. This time it's not 15% for you people who didn't do it, it would be 10%, right? So that's it. I think it's clear. It's clear enough. So I'm giving you people a chance. I'm sorry, Javed, Mr. Javed Kayumi, because I want to be very equal to everybody. Those people who send me the assignment, they already did their work, so I don't want to make everybody feel that why we are getting this if we did our work and other people. So be very equal with everybody. Okay. If next time I did not get the assignment, it will be a 0%. It's very clear. And those people who do not want to send me PDF or whatever, they don't want to do the requirements fulfill like other people, then I don't have any other chance but to, I would consider it as a half assignment. So please follow the requirements. Whatever the requirements are, just follow them. So now we are clear about the deadline. Deadline is important. We are also clear about that the next time you should be very careful about the requirements of the assignments, follow the requirements. The third thing which is very important is schedule of assignment. So remember, now this first assignment was 15%. After next class, I'll give you another assignment which would be another 15%. And then in the end, it will be a 70% final assignment, right? I understand grades affect everybody and that's why people have grades to make sure that everybody do their work. So last time I have mentioned it again and again, that please do follow the requirements and deadlines. So please don't put it on me, because you should follow them. And believe me, I'm still giving you a chance of 10%. So follow the requirements for the next time, and you will be fine, right? The email on which for the next time everybody has to send me the assignment is this one. So please follow it, right? Support for study at hotmail.com. Okay, so this is all about these assignments and all these things. The last thing which I want to talk to everybody is about one thing. I got 1 or 2 emails from students in which they said that they could not find articles after 2010, or they could not find PDF files about their topic. Now remember, you have to do a research and you have to write a research project. So if remember, if you cannot find articles about your research project, if you do not find any articles after 2010 or anything like this, please try to change your topic, because later on you will do your research project and you cannot write your literature review, because you will have nothing to write from. So change your topic from now on, because it's starting, right? So this is also very important for everybody, that if you find no articles about your research area, then just change your area. Okay, now, yes, what's the question? Nisar, please look at the screen on the front. You can see one email address, support4study@hotmail.com. I've already sent the session 1 and session 2 notes, the PowerPoint slides on the first page of the, or on the first slide of PowerPoint. Also the email address is written, support4study@hotmail.com. Nadia, you have a question. Please quick ask the question, so then we can ask start the research, start the class. Yes, see, this is the thing. That's what all these assignments are related. Okay, so the first assignment, that's why I asked you that you have to mention your research project topic, what topic you want to do, and then download 3 articles related to your topic. Now I have no problem if you want to change your topic later on for your project, but if you really want to learn something from this class, you better select the topic in the start, and whatever I'm teaching you, just try to apply on those things on your topic, so you learn something. For me, it's okay if your topics are different in all the assignments, but for you, in order to learn, make sure you do it on the same topic or same area, so you learn something. Okay, so this is all about these assignments and everything. So let us start with the class today. Okay, today's class is actually about formulating the research design, right? So what actually research design is all about? Basically, If you remember in the start, we talked about how do you come up with research problem. Then related to this research problem, how do you do a critical literature review? Right? After you have done your literature review, then the next topic or the next session is about research design, or in other terms also people call it as research methodology. Okay, so it's very important later on if you are doing PhD, if you are doing masters or whatever, even if you are working in some office and you want to do a research proposal to get money or something, the most important part would be methodology, because everybody will ask you how are you going to do this thing. So in order to answer how are you going to do this thing, you must be aware of how to design your research, right? So it's about methodology. Okay, so let's start with it. Basically in research design we have three things. One is your research choices, what type of choice you have. The second is what strategies you will adopt to get those choices. And the third is time horizon, how much time you have. So we will study these three things in order to proceed with this session. Okay, remember this thing is very important. This is from a book from Saunders. Here is the reference as well. This is like an onion. If you cut an onion from inside, the onion will look like this one, right? So we call it the research onion model, right? So basically you start from the outer layer. You start from this layer. First you talk about this layer, then you talk about this layer, then we talk about third and then fourth and then fifth, and that's how we design our research, right? Okay, if we look at the first layer, it's called the research philosophy, right? The second layer we call it approaches, the third layer we call strategies, the fourth layer is choices, the fifth layer is time horizon, and the sixth layer inside is techniques and procedures. Okay, now basically this chapter, what we are talking about, the research design, what it talks about is these three things: strategies, choices, and time horizon. If you remember here in the previous slide, we talked about choices, strategies, and time horizon. So basically these three are those which you are looking at, but I'll also explain a little bit about philosophy and approaches. I don't know how many of you remember, but in the last class we actually discussed about these approaches: deductive approach and inductive approach. I hope everybody remembers that, because it's a bit long, so I won't give it a long time, because last week I explained it quite in detail, right? So I don't know if all of you remember or not. So let's see, if we have time today, I will explain it a little bit. Okay, now what is basically a research philosophy? Basically research philosophy is your own thinking. Like as a researcher, what do you think to do a research, right? If you are a researcher and I ask you, okay, tell me how do you think about something. Let me talk to one or two students to make this thing a bit clearer. Okay. Hello. Hello, Mr. Arif. Hello, Mr. Arif.
Yes, I hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, good evening.
How are you?
Fine, thank you very much, sir. How are you?
I'm okay, I'm good. Okay, Mr. Arif, I want to ask you one thing.
Yes.
If, for example, you are doing a research on students in Kabul,
Yeah.
right? So if you are doing a research on students in Kabul, and I ask you, okay, you have to tell me that are the students satisfied with the studies with the university performance or not, right?
Yeah.
So what will you do? You will go and do a research, right?
Yes, of course. I have to go to the university and talk to some of the students and see their opinion. And take their
So
opinion
what do you
and
think?
see whether they are satisfied or not.
Okay. Well, can you do a research on all the students in Kabul?
I don't think so because it's not possible to do the assessment from the all students, but maybe from each some student from each class and also from each university.
Yes. So you will
A
go to
percentage.
each university and you will go to different universities, and from different universities you will take a few students and then do the research on them, right?
Exactly.
And in the end, for example, your result shows that yes, students are happy. So you will say, what will you say? You will say that the students in Kabul are satisfied with the education. You will not say that the students from this university are satisfied. You will say students in Kabul are satisfied, right?
Exactly.
Now see, this is something which is the thinking of a researcher, right?
Yeah.
But there are also some other people who says that no, if there are 100 students and out of 100
Yes.
students only 20 people are satisfied, it does not mean that everybody is satisfied. Maybe other students are not satisfied,
Yes.
right?
Um,
So this is
yes.
another thinking. So basically this type of thinking is called the research philosophy, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I will put you on mute again and then we
Okay.
can proceed.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so if you listen to what I was saying, that basically research, no, it's not sampling. It's nothing to do with sampling. All what I'm saying is that it's your thinking, the way you think research should be, right? Yes, somewhat it's dependent with sampling, but for example, there is one researcher who says that everyone in the world thinks the same, right? There is one researcher, he thinks like this. So he will do a research using sampling. He will take a sample, he will do the research, and then what he will do is he will think that everybody thinks like this. But maybe there is another researcher who thinks that everyone is different. Now he will never do sampling. He will just take a few cases. What he will do is he will take a few cases and study each of them. Okay, yes, Nadia, let me put you on the unmute. Hello.
Hello, good evening to everyone. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Sir, regarding our final project report for research methodology subject, before you ask Mr. Orest to have a research on how or all the students are happy with study at the Kabul, sir, if we do our research generally, it will take too much time and no one will be responsive to us. If we select our boundary of the research project, or we have the choice to select the scope of our research, for example, the organization that we are working, if we have our research project and choose the organization as a scope of our research, will be a problem?
See, actually, what I'm trying to say is that, okay, tell me one thing. What do you think? Everybody in the world is same or different?
No, sir, because everyone is employee and during the day we are busy with our job. There might not be enough time for us to go for, if we have questionnaire to collect the data for the primary data. For secondary data, it's okay, we can have it. But for the primary data, we have to have our questionnaire or in-depth interviews with everyone in order to collect the data and have our findings and recommendations. So it's difficult for us to select a general topic. If the topic is specific, then it will be better or easy for us.
Okay, Nadia, let me tell you one thing, okay? You are asking me a question about your final assignment or project, right?
Yes.
Okay, first of all, let me clarify you one thing to you and other students as well. If you have any questions, general questions, not related to the topic, right? Then what you can do is you can ask me those questions in the last, like when we finish the class, then I can stay for 10 to 15 minutes and I can answer your question. Right?
Okay, okay, thank you. Yes.
No problem. It's okay. I will answer you now, but for the next time, because what happens is that it actually stops the flow of the class. So I can answer you now, but for next time, if you have any general questions, then you can just ask me in the end of each class.
Okay, thank you, sir. As our friend Mr. Ari was talking about the final project and assignment, that is why I just had the question.
It's okay. It's okay.
I wanted to raise it.
Okay, no problem. I will answer you now, but for the next time, be careful.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, your question, what you are saying is completely okay. I understand it, but the problem is we cannot make things according to what we want, right? You have to do the things according to what you are required to do, right? Now, for example, as a Muslim, you are required to pray 5 times a day. You cannot change it. You cannot say that I cannot pray, so I will pray 3 times. You cannot do it because you are required to do 5 times. So in a research, you are required to do a primary data for your MBA. If it's related to some organization, it's okay, fine. You can do a research on secondary data as well. You can do it, fine, no problem. For a MBA, because you are calling it a research, so MBA level, you have to do some primary data collection. Maybe you can do a case study, maybe you can do interviews, maybe you can do questionnaire collection, but you have to do it. Understand? Okay. So if still you have some question, then maybe you can ask me by the end of the class.
Okay, after the end of class, we'll talk in detail.
No problem.
Thank you so much, sir.
It's okay. It's okay. Okay. Now let me tell everybody, I'm not talking about sampling at all, right? I'm not even talking about satisfaction. What I am just trying to say is that the way you think about something, it will affect how you will do it, right? Let's say one thing. There are 2 types of people. One people are called risk taker, one people are called risk avoider, right? So risk taker are those people who take risk. Risk avoider are those people who avoid the risk. Now, for example, if you want to take a flight from Kabul to London, right? Risk taker will be a person who will buy a ticket one week before he is going. Why? Because if he buys the ticket very late, he might get it cheap on a chance, right? Or risk avoider will be that person who will buy a ticket around 1 month before he is going. Why? Because he wants to avoid any risk. Maybe he thinks that if he buy it too late, maybe he can't find the ticket. So even he have to pay it a bit expensive, but he will buy it earlier, right? So what I'm just trying to tell you is the way you think about different things, the way you look at the things, then you, whatever you do is based on those things, right? Now let's say we talk about one person who thinks that, yes, I just mean to say that how you think, your thinking approach, what is your thinking approach, right? So there are different type of people in the world, right? So let's say if we look at this one, those people who think that everybody in the world thinks the same, right? Or everybody in the world does the same. What they can do is they can just do a sampling, they can collect data from a few people, then the results, and then they will think that, okay, everybody thinks like this. Their research will be designed like this. Those people who think everybody is different, they will go to almost everybody possible and they will collect the data from them, and then they will try to see what is the difference between every person. And then they will put it in a document, in a theory, everywhere to say that these people are different from these people are different from these, right? So this thing is very related to research philosophy, right? Now if we look at the research philosophy, research cannot be neutral. It will be also always dependent. Research will always depend on what is the interest of the researcher, what he thinks, what he assumes about different things. So his research will be designed based off what he thinks, right? Basically, there we have two types of philosophies. One is called positivism, one is called phenomenological, right? There are the slides, you can look at them. Now basically positive people, what they think, positive people think that human behavior or the way human customer employees they behave, it is same as in the natural sciences, like generalization, right? Generalization means the same, what I just explained. You go, you collect data from few people, whatever the result is, you just generalize it and then you say, yes. Remember, those people who are positivist, their research is not always 100% correct. Hello?
Hello.
Mr. Asif. Hello?
Yes. Hello.
Yes,
Can you hear me, sir?
yes, I can hear you, but your voice is a bit low. Okay, yes, you can talk.
You know, sometimes there's a problem with the internet. Good. Yeah. Good evening to all. I want to explain my understanding regarding research. You know, at first we have to understand what is the goal and objective of the research. For what purpose the research is doing. After that, by having a clear concept of the research, we have to design the tools, research tools, whether it is questionnaire or as you said, focus discussion, individual interviews, and brainstorming with a specific group of communities or target groups. You know, it's first thing, and we came to the target group. You know, for example, you mentioned about the entire students of the Kabul city. You know, it takes longer and longer time to go to each faculty or to go to each portion of faculty. So we need to consider entire, for example, if I bring an example of Kabul University, there are many faculties within the university. So we can consider entire population or entire students of the university, then we can take a one sample or two sample which describe as the all characteristic of the students. So we can do study in a specific faculty or specific sample. Considering our sample, we can understand, we can get our required data and information either from the primary data and from the secondary data. Also, this is belongs to the scope of work. Sometimes.
Okay, Asif, actually your voice.
Secondary data and sometimes. So,
sorry, Asif, your voice is breaking a lot, right? So I cannot really listen clearly to what you are saying. But I got your idea. Your idea is actually about general thing. You are saying that basically we have to look at the time, how much time we have to do the research. If we have a lot of time, then yes, possible we can go to a lot of people. But if the time is limited, then we cannot go to everybody, right? And then if the time is limited, then we have to select a sample. But while selecting the sample, we should make sure that we are selecting sample from everywhere so that they are representing everybody.
And also, sir, we have various types of methodology of research. Sometimes this belongs to the characteristic of the research. So every researcher has its own system procedures, but we have commonality overall how to do the research.
What you are saying is exactly correct. But see, what I am trying to say is that personally one person have some type of preferences, right? Some type of preferences. For example, we have different type of people. Some people, they are very religious. Some people, they are not very religious, right? Now those people who are very religious, the way they do things, you can feel it that yes, these people are very religious, right? Those people who are not very religious, the way they do things, you can also feel that these people are not very religious. Do you understand what I am saying?
Completely right, sir. You know, sometimes when we do a research in very remote areas in Afghanistan, we make ourselves according to the culture, custom, and religion of the community. For example, for example, in north of Afghanistan and east and south of Afghanistan, there are completely different types of custom, culture, and communication. So the researcher needs to adjust himself according to the existed custom and culture, and get his data information considering their expectations.
Yeah, Asif, I think because your internet have problem, you are saying completely correct. What I understand from you is all fine, right? The problem is your internet have some problems. I can't really listen to everything you are saying, but I got the idea from you. Let me explain it a little bit, right? How can what you are saying is connected to what I am teaching at the moment, right? So I'll put you on the mute and then we can discuss it further. Okay, now see what Asif is saying is fine. He is saying that first research depends upon time. If we have enough time, then we can do a big research. If we have less time, then we will do a small research. Then if we have less time or big time, we have to make a sample which is representing everybody. So then we have good answers which can represent everybody. Another thing what he said is that when we are collecting data, we have to make sure that we are doing it according to the culture, according to the way people are living, so they can easily give us data. Yes, these all things are fine. See, what I was just telling you is this research philosophy actually is very easy, very simple, but the first thing you have to think about. See, very simple. Some of the people, their preferences, right? If, for example, there are some people who by default, like naturally, they love their country a lot. So if in Afghanistan there are those people who love their country a lot, you will always see them wearing the national clothes, the local clothes from Afghanistan. You will always look at them. They are eating the local food, these type of things. So the way they are doing things, you can see how they think. But there are some other people who like Western culture, who like the culture from the West, from inside. So then after that, the way they do things, they will be wearing very stupid type of jeans and very some strange type of fashion and drinking and all those things. And then the way they do things, you will realize that these people like Western culture. Now this is one example, right? For research it's the same. Depending on your thinking, you will select research tools, you will select research methods, you will select your research topic and everything, right? Now, one simple example. If all of you are doing MBA, right? All of you are aware of different type of business management areas. Do you think if one person do not talk a lot and he is not very talkative and he does not like go to meet people and different things, do you think he should go and study marketing? Anybody wants to answer? Right? And then on the other hand, there is one person who is very calculated, who do things according to planning, who is a very good planner. He can sit for a long time. He likes numbers a lot and he can read a lot. Do you think that person should do finance? Anybody wants to answer? Do you think that person should study finance? He should make a career in finance? So this is what I'm talking about. Now your personal characteristics or the way you think, it is shown by the what you are doing, right? So those people, remember what I'm saying, those people, for example, who think that everyone in the world thinks the same, they would just simply go collect data from 300 people, get the results and then generalize the result and then think, okay, it's fine. Those people who think that everybody who is different, then they will go collect data from everyone and then do the research and come up with different type of things. So this is all about research philosophy. So basically, those people who think that people in the world are similar, if you collect data from a few people, then you can generalize it. That type of philosophy is called positivist, right? And then the second one, phenomenological, they think that every person in the world is different, everybody, and basically everybody's behavior is different depending on what they do. So for them, uniqueness is important. They think from everyone you can get a unique experience. So this is just the difference. It's not something very complicated, it's not very important, but you should understand this thing, right? So let's go to the next slide. Now if you look at this thing, yes, in the start we have positivism and phenomenological. Based on philosophy, it will actually affect what type of methodology you want to do, right? And methodology includes these things. You have to be able to answer why you collect data, what data you collect, where you collect, how you will collect, and how will you analyze. So remember, positivism and phenomenological, these two people will always answer these questions differently. If one person thinks that everybody is same, his answers will be different for these questions. If one person thinks everybody is different, his answers will be different, right? So we will come to it how it's different. Now basically to design your research or to make a research design, what you need to do is, in the first chapter we studied about research question and objectives. You have to develop very clear objectives. Then you have to come up with the sources of data collection. Now if you know, we have two sources, primary and secondary. Primary is that data which is not available in the world. So for example, if you go and ask someone to fill your questionnaire, he will do it for the first time. It's never ever present in the world before this. If you interview someone, it's also new. So that's called primary data. Secondary data is that data which is already present. All you need to do is search it and bring it again, right? So you can get it from newspapers, from websites, from articles, from books. Sahab, I don't know what you are asking. Is it possible for you to explain what you are saying? And then the third thing is, in research design, you must be able to Asif, no, secondary data does not mean already collected data, because see, yes, it's somewhat similar, but the definition is a bit wrong. Secondary data means that data which is present, already present, not collected, already present, right? For example, if I write a book, that book is written, it's not collected, but that book, if you want to take something from it, it would be a secondary source. So not collected data, already present data. Present data includes collected data. The third thing is, okay. The third thing is to consider constraints and ethical issues. Constraints is limitations. Just like when I was talking to Asif, he talked about the time. Time is a big limitation. If, for example, you have to do your MBA project, maybe you will have only 1 or 2 months. So you have to make sure that you design your research which is possible to do in that time. If you say you will collect data from 1000 people, it's impossible. If you say you will collect data from 100 people in 2 months, it's possible. So you have to consider the constraints. The second thing is financial cost. This is also a constraint. If you are in Afghanistan and you want to go and collect data from America for your MBA thesis, maybe it's impossible, because for MBA you don't have enough money to go to America and collect data there and come back. So you have to consider your limitations, constraints, and ethical issues. Ethical issues, those things which can harm someone. I have explained it in the previous classes. For example, if you want to collect data from some patients and then you publish that result, so it can harm the feelings of those patients. So you have to be sure about the ethical issues as well. And the last and the most important thing is, if you select a research design, you must be able to justify it. You must be able to say why you have selected it. For example, to collect data, we have two things basically. One is questionnaire, one is interview. So if I ask, for example, Asif, what do you want to use? Asif, I want to use questionnaire. So he must be able to answer why he is doing questionnaire, not interview. So this is also very important. Okay. Now basically we have three types of research, right? Based on the purpose. So the purpose will be clear in your research question, research objective or research aim. Whatever is your purpose, based on that your research can be either exploratory, either descriptive, either explanatory, right? Now what does this mean? Let's come to it. In exploratory, the variables are not defined, right? For example, we want to say why, like just now I said, you have to check if the students are satisfied or not, right? in this type of case, if you want to do the exploratory research, then in the exploratory, we will say, will students be satisfied? So in this case, there is no variable. Like for example, if we look at these three questions, see, we say the quality of service is declining, means going down, and we don't know why. So in this type of case, you have to explore, right? Let's say if you have a business and you want to see why your customers are dissatisfied, why they are not happy. So in this type of research is exploratory research. In this research, you basically do not have any variables until and unless you do a research and then find out the variables, right? Descriptive, in descriptive, you know what are the variables, right? For example, what have been the trends in organizational downsizing over the past 10 years? Like I said, uh, how many students were satisfied with education in Kabul city? So in this, you know that student satisfaction you have to measure, but you don't know that from what students are satisfied, right? Let's make it like this. If we have a question like this, are the students satisfied in Kabul University? This would be a descriptive question. Because why? In the end, you will answer yes or no. You are just going to measure the satisfaction, right? But if I ask the question like this, are the students satisfied with education quality in Kabul University? If this type of question we have, then it would become an explanatory research. The only difference between explanatory and descriptive is that in descriptive you have the variables. Like for example, here in this study, satisfaction is a variable, right? Yes. So this is why it's called descriptive. You have to describe things. That's why it's called descriptive, because it's too general, right? So all you have to do is you have to describe that phenomena. And you can only describe that phenomena if you don't want to find the relationship. The explanatory, in explanatory still we have variables like satisfaction and education quality, but then we have the relationship of variables as well. In this case, we want to see that is education quality affecting satisfaction of students or not. So if your research question is about the variables and the relationships between them, this one would be called explanatory, right? So basically in descriptive we have to answer a question which is a what question, right? For example, what are the reasons for student satisfaction in Kabul University? So you have to describe them, right? And in explanation, you have to answer a which question or a how question, like which of the variables affect student satisfaction or how student satisfaction is affected by education quality. So this is the difference between these three. In the first one, you don't know any main variable. In the second one, you know the variables. In the third one, you know the variables and also the relationships. So this is the difference between exploratory, descriptive, and research. Usually, if MBA level basically will be doing these two. In MBA level, basically either you will be doing descriptive research, either you will be doing explanatory research, right? Okay, now after you have your research question, then the first thing you want to know is how are you, which research strategy you will pick up. Basically, based on this research strategy, you will select your research data collection tool and other things, right? So we have different type of strategies like experiment, grounded theory, ethnography, action research, survey, case study, archival research. Basically, for you people, there are two things which are very important. It's survey and case study. Usually, all of you will do either survey, either case study. Another thing is archival research. By the time when I was making these slides, I know some people will ask me this question. That's why I put it yellow. But for MBA, you will not use it, right? So what we will do is we will basically focus on survey and case study, and I'll just tell you what is archival research. Okay. Um, Here is some explanation about experiment, but since we do not use experiments at all in our research, so we will not go through them. Okay, survey, remember survey is the most popular strategy in the business research, very, very popular. And I think 90% people will do survey. Also, survey is perceived to be authoritative, which means that in survey, basically, you people who are collecting data will have the power, will have the authority. With survey, you can use quantitative data. From the survey, the results you get can also be analyzed quantitatively. You can do quantitative research. But remember, when you are doing survey, your sample should be representative. You should not pick up sample from somewhere which is not representing all your population. And if you are doing survey, you will get some type of independence because you will have the power. And also, survey includes observation and interviews, right? So basically, in survey, we have three types of things. One is called questionnaire, interview, observation. Basically, none of you people will be using observation, right? Most of you will be using questionnaire and interview. In the questionnaire, what you will have to do is you make a paper questionnaire and then you give it to your respondents and ask them to fill it for you. So that's the questionnaire. Interview, again, you put a few questions on the paper, you go, you ask someone those questions, you record or write whatever they answer, and then later you analyze the results. So this is questionnaire and interview. Observation, very simple, as the name says, you go to somewhere where you have to collect it. Data, you don't tell anybody anything and just you keep observing, and then later you can analyze whatever you have observed. So this is about survey, right? As I mentioned earlier, you have to be sure why you are selecting one research. So these are some of the reasons why people select survey. So remember them, right? You will have the slides later on, so later you can work out with it. Case study is very different from survey. In case study, you take one company or one case and then you try to analyze that case. Usually, case study is for those people who think that everybody is different, right? So when you think that different organizations are different from each other, then you pick up a few cases and you try to analyze them, and in the end, the result, you never say that this result is generalized. You always mention that this result is from this case study, right? Basically, why people use case study? Because it's related to a real life context, from a real life situation. Another thing about case study is you use different type of data. So how, for example, if you select one company, if I'm not wrong, there is one university in Kabul by name of Kardan University, right? Kardan. If anybody have heard of it, right? So this Kardan University, let's say if RF wants to do a research on Kardan University, that how Kardan, and if I am not wrong, this Kardan University was started around 10 years ago by two students who rent one room and then they put a projector there and a few students used to come to them, and then how they developed this whole big university with a few branches. I'm not sure, but I think that now they have 2 or 3 different um, branches in Kabul and in some other cities of Afghanistan as well. So if you want to do a research on how that Kardan did this thing, how did they started from a very small start and how did they grow up to become so big, right? So you can do a case study. Now in case study, what you can do is when you go there, you can look at their different papers, the office records, the documents. You can even give a few questionnaires to some students, some staff members and collect data. You can even interview their directors or their senior management position people. And from all this data, then you can analyze that how did it happen, right? So case study is important for this. One, it's related to real life context. Another thing is it have multiple sources of data. And then we have different type of case studies. One is single versus multiple case, holistic case versus embedded case. Holistic case versus embedded case, it's not related to your research, it's about writing the case studies, but it's not related to you. Single case versus multiple case simply means that you pick up one organization, you do a research on this, it will be called single case. But if you want to do universities in Kabul and then you pick up 5 or 6 universities and you do case study on each of them, it's called multiple case, right? So that's it about case study. Action research, not related to you, it's about social sciences. It's not related to you. Grounded theory is again not related to you. Okay, yes. Archival research, it's good for you people when you go for your jobs later on. Like if somebody is working in some type of NGO, some government organization, some international organization, then this one is good. Basically, archival research is used by those people who are working in the news department. What they do is they take the records and documents of different type of companies or different type of people, and then they from the past, like remember archival research is always based on the past. Like for example, if we want to see, let's say if there is a research and we want to see that how many students from Kabul universities have ever been to foreign universities, like foreign countries, right? If let's say you want to do a research on this one, so what you will do is you will go to too fast what? Sahab, you said too fast what? Sorry, can you I don't know, I don't understand. Okay, archival research is always about the past. For example, if you want to do a research about how was the government performance from 1970 to 1990 in Afghanistan. Let's say you want to do a research on this. So you go to different government departments, you take their record from 1970 to 1990, and then you can analyze this one, and then you can answer your research question. So this type of research is called archival research, right? But for your MBA, it's not important, right? Usually for later on when you are working somewhere as a professional, then you can use this research. So you should know about it a little bit. Okay. Okay, now for example, this is what I am saying. If you are working in a professional organization, right? If you are working in a professional organization and then you have to do some research for that organization or on that organization, so you will become a practitioner and researcher as well. Practitioner means you are working as a professional somewhere. And Sahab, I mentioned it's not related to you. Yes, I went fast to it because I didn't explain anything about it because it's not related to you. So now basically if you are in this type of situation where you are a professional plus researcher as well, so what type of things can happen? The first thing which is very easy is you can access the data very easily. Like if you are working in a bank and you want to do a research on bank employees, then you can collect data from them very easily compared to other people. So this is one thing. Another thing is the researcher will know the organization very well because you are working there, so you know that organization very well, so your research will be better. Yes, another problem is that because you know that organization, there's a disadvantage as well. Sometimes you might not write something which is bad about the organization because you know about it, right? If I want to do a research on Kardan University, let's say, and I find out something very strange about that university, maybe I will write it that this is something very bad or very strange about this university. But if one person in Kardan University is doing a research on Kardan, maybe he will never mention about this thing that this is bad or this is good, right? So this is one disadvantage of familiarity. Then if you are working somewhere and you are also a professional, maybe the research is not very solid because you might use your own assumptions and conceptions in the research, right? Let's say if you do not like where you are working, so even the results are good about that place, maybe you change some of those results and those type of things. So that's why in this case where you are a professional plus a researcher, you have to be very careful and you need to talk to your own self about doing things correctly. Okay, now basically when we talk about research choices, so we have two types of choices basic. One is mono method, one is multiple method. Mono method is simple. You select one research strategy. Like for example, you selected you want to collect data using questionnaire. That's it. It's a mono method. You just use a questionnaire to collect the data. But if you want to use multiple methods, then multiple method also have two different things. One is called multi-method, one is called mixed method, right? Okay. Multi-method, what multi-method do is that it's related to the analysis. Okay, so let's talk about it a bit later. Mixed method is about data collection methods, right? So mixed method, we have two types. So mixed method research, mixed model research, right? So in mixed method and mixed model, you only will use mixed method. So mixed model, it's very complicated. It's for later on. So keep it for one side. Mixed method research is when you use two types of methods to collect data. Let's say you want to collect data using questionnaire, but you also want to collect data from a few people using interviews. So that one would be called as mixed method research, right? So for mixed model, I will explain it a bit later because it's not related now and it will make you confused at the moment. So let's keep it away from for some time. Sorry. Okay, now multi-method. Multi-method is related to data analysis, right? So multi-method quantitative study is that study in which you use more than one quantitative research analysis skill to do your analysis. Now what does this mean? because you did not study data analysis now, so you might not understand it very clearly now, right? Multi-method quantitative study means that when you use more than one quantitative analysis to analyze your data. But for you all people, for now, at this moment, the most important thing is to understand this. Okay. Now, mono method again, if you are using one method of collecting data like questionnaire, like interview, if one, that's it, mono method. Most of you people will use mono method, right? From now I am telling you around 85 to 90% people use mono method. Because of what? If you remember in the start I mentioned that you have to think about the constraints. So because you have limited time, you have limited money, you have limited context and access, so most of you will be using mono method. Very few people will use multiple methods, but in multiple methods they will also not go so far. What they will do is, if they want to use mixed method, they will just use questionnaire and also interview, that's it. They will not go to mixed model research, which is very complicated, so that's why I won't explain it now. Multi-method again, if you are using more than one data analysis techniques of quantitative, it will be called multi-method quantitative studies. If you are using more than one qualitative analysis strategies, it will be called multi-method qualitative studies. So for now on, what you need to understand is only this part, right? Okay. Now, if you are using mixed method, what does this include or why we use it? The first thing is triangulation. Now, if you know how does a triangle look like? A triangle basically looks like this one. Yeah. So this is a triangle, right? So in triangulation, basically what we do is we basically collect uh, so basically in triangulation what we do is we use multiple data collection tools. Like for example, you want to collect data using a questionnaire and also using interview. Or some people might use a case study and also use questionnaire with it. So that's multiple data collection tool. And then after you collect data, then you analyze it differently. For example, the data you get from interview, you cannot analyze it quantitatively. The data you collect from questionnaire, you cannot analyze it qualitatively. So that's why if you are using multiple data collection tools, then you have to use multiple data analysis techniques. So this, if you are doing this type of thing, it's called triangulation because you are doing more than one thing, right? Why we do it? We do it so we know different aspects, right? Now, if we are doing an interview, if you are doing a questionnaire and you want to ask a question, are you satisfied, yes or no? So what will happen is a person will either answer you yes or no. However, if you are doing interview and your interview is like this, tell me about your satisfaction, and then you let the other person say whatever he wants to say. So what do you think, which one will have more details? Which of these two will have more details? So I think yes. Now what happens is that sometimes you collect the data using questionnaires. So in questionnaires you will you analyze it, and then you also collect some data, maybe 4 or 5 interviews to get some extra details. So this is why we do it, so you know something about different aspects about, because in questionnaire you will only know those things which you are asking in questionnaire, but in interview they will explain a few more extra things as well. So sometimes it's good to use triangulation. And also it's just like solving a puzzle. Like for example, if I give you a puzzle, a quiz type of thing, so you can use different type of methods to solve it, right? In the past, people would say, okay, no, it's not related. Um, uh, Solving a puzzle simply means when I give you a puzzle, you use maths, you use logic, you use physics, you use different type of things to solve that puzzle. So that's how you use triangulation to get different aspects about one thing. So it's good to use mixed methods. But for MBA, I don't think you have enough time and energy and financial cost to do all these things. So you mostly will be doing mono method, one method. Okay, in the end, what earlier Asif was explaining is about the time. Now, time is important, and I would say, if not the most important, it's one of the most important. So, in time, basically, according to time, we have two types of things, two types of research. One research is where you want to do this. Um, Are the students satisfied with Kabul University, or are the students satisfied with education quality in Kabul University? So you just go one time, maybe for 2 months or 3 months, you collect data and that's it. That data you can use later on. So this type of research is one-time research. You collect data one time, right? So for this, the name is cross-sectional. So in cross-sectional, you can go somewhere, you collect data and that's it. Whereas the other research is like this. The other research always have a time horizon in the middle. Let's say if we want to do a research on this, right? Does salary increase motivation level of employees or not? So what you will do is you will collect data at 2 times. So first you will collect data here. Uh, First you will collect data here before salary. Okay, so first of all, what you have to do is you have to collect data before their salary. Then after they get salary, then after that you again collect data. So you collect data 2 times just to assess that whether the salary will increase their motivation level or not, right? So this type of research in which you collect data more than one time at 2 different times, that's called longitudinal research, right? So you have to also think about whether your research is cross-sectional or longitudinal, right? So, okay, yes. Now another thing is that after you have the research findings, right? Uh, Once you collect data and then you have the findings or whatever, then you have to think about it whether your data is reliable, whether it's valid, whether it's generalizable, or whether it have some false assumptions or logic leaks, etc. Right? So basically, reliability, it simply means that reliability basically means that whether your findings are showing what you wanted to know or not. If you wanted to measure customer satisfaction, whether you have measured customer satisfaction or not. How do you make sure that your data is reliable? It's in order to ensure that your data is reliable, you have to do some analysis on SPSS, and based on the results, you will know whether your data is reliable or not. So this is very important. But reliability actually means that whether your findings are showing what you wanted to know or not. The second thing is validity. Okay, validity basically is related to will your study show the same results in another time or not. So let's say if you wanted to measure customer satisfaction, like we talked about it here, customer satisfaction, and you use a questionnaire. That questionnaire have 10 questions to assess it, and your findings show that yes, my students are satisfied. So will, if anybody else use the same questions and after 5 months you do the same analysis, will it show the similar type of results or not, right? So this is also, in order to make sure that your data is valid, what you have to do is you have to take your questionnaire from previous studies. So you have to find some articles, some very famous theories, those people who have already done this type of research, and you have to use their questions in your research. So if you use it, it means that your findings are valid, right? And besides this, you also have to show your data collection tool to a subject expert. Like for example, if you are teacher or if you are supervisor or whoever is an expert of your area or methodology or whatever, he should have a look at your questionnaire, and then he should mention that if your questionnaire is okay or not okay. If it's okay, it means it's valid. If it's not okay, it means it's not valid. So you have to make sure that the data collection tool is valid, right? Generalizability, it's not very important, but it's something like what we were discussing earlier, that once you have the findings, do you think those findings will be generalized or not? So remember, in positivism, those people who are doing sampling, and then for them they have to mention that since for this study is not generalizable, so you have to mention this in your project because you have taken a sample, so the findings are not generalizable. The last one is logic leaps and false assumptions. It's something not related to you people, it's not related to MBA at all, but actually it just means that when you are collecting data, did you assume something or not? If you assume something while collecting data, then you have to mention it. Let's say, for example, if a person from America wants to come and do a research on the employees in Afghanistan, and then he just assumes that the women do not work in Afghanistan. He assumes it, that women do not work in Afghanistan, and then he collect data only from male, and then he go and show his findings. So there he have to mention that he made one assumption that women do not work in Afghanistan, and that was a false assumption. So whoever reads his findings, they should make sure that they know that he made this assumption. So this is also something very important related to research design. Okay, now this one is for you people to, when you will be doing your own project thesis, you must follow this thing. Basically, if you are doing positivism, you will do survey, you will do experiment, you will do longitudinal study or cross-sectional study, which I just explained. What does this mean, right? If you are doing a case study, then it's the phenomenological. Based on this, these are the titles, right? So if you people don't understand how positivist approach, so if here is a title, here is the positivist approach, here is the methodology. So you can even look at these just to make yourself clear and think about it, why it's positivist and why it's cross section, right? And based on this, you will have to select whether your study will be qualitative or quantitative, or whether it will be deductive or inductive. Now, what is deductive, inductive, and qualitative, quantitative? Let's discuss this one. Basically, in quantitative, you will have to use numbers. You will have to use statistics to find out something, right? Let's say if in this research we were talking about salary increase motivation level of employees or not. So we have two variables. One is increase in salary, and the other one is motivation. So in order to find the relationship, we will have to use numbers, right? Different type of numbers based on statistics. I am not explaining them because they are not related at the moment, but later on, if we had time, another time, I will try to teach some basic SPSS to you people as well. So if you are using numbers to do your part, or let's say make it like this, if you use questionnaire to collect data, then you will do quantitative. If you use interview to collect data, you will do qualitative, because then you will not analyze the numbers, rather you will analyze the words, what people are talking about, right? So interviews, that's how it is. Deductive, most of you will be using deductive, because in deductive you start with general idea and then you go to a particular situation. How you do the literature review, you talk about general theories and whatever is happening, then you make your own model, and then you collect data about your model, and then you come up with the findings. I've already explained it in very detail last time. Inductive, you start with particular situation, you collect data, you look at observation, you look at trends, and then you make a general idea from it, a theory. Usually, I don't think anybody of you will do inductive, because it's neither related at the moment nor important for you people at the moment. So most of you will be doing deductive approach. This is one example of how deductive and inductive work out. For example, if you want to know that what does professional mean, professional. So if you want to do deductive, what will you do is you will go and find out a few definitions of professional work, right? Then use this definition, you will test on different people using a questionnaire or interview or discussion. After this interview or questionnaire, the data you collected, you will look at this data, whether this data match those definitions or not. In the start you got those definitions, then you will check if this data from these people match those definitions or not. This is deductive. Inductive is you start talking to people. You ask a few people what is professional, then they will tell you different things. In those things there will be some common things and some different things. Common things you join together, different things you put in different groups, and then you try to make a definition of professional. So that's how inductive works out. Now this is ethical. Remember that whatever you are doing in research, your research design, your findings, it should not have any type of embarrassment, any harm or disadvantage to any of the people in your sample or population. This is very, very important. So again, this is your summary. You have strategies, choices, time horizons. Your research can be exploratory, descriptive or explanatory. In terms of time, it can be cross-sectional or longitudinal. Remember that in one project you can use one main strategy or you can combine them. Using multiple methods can bring a lot of opportunities if and only if you have enough time and money to do all this. Your results again should be valid and reliable, and then you must ensure that ethical things are fulfilled. Everything is ethically done. So that's all about your research design. I hope everybody is clear about them. If not, you can ask a question now so I can answer you, and then we can finish the class. See, this is the problem. I have always this problem. In the start of the class, we had around 20 to 18 to 20 people. Now we only have 6 people in the class. Now the problem is if I tell you anything about assignment or anything and those people miss it out later on, then some of you students also ask me to give them a chance, So this is my problem actually. I don't want to be unequal to everybody. Now only a few 6 people are sitting. I want to be equal to you and other people as well. Okay, so if there is any question, please ask now so I can answer and then we can leave. Okay, so I suppose there are no questions, so I'll finish this class. I hope everybody understands the things. If not, anyways, as I mentioned earlier, in the next class, in the last 10 to 15 minutes, you can ask me questions about maybe you want to study these slides at home. I will send them to everybody's email address and then you can ask me questions in the next class if you want. Yes, I hope I can do it by next class, inshallah. Thank you everyone and have a good time. Have a good, I don't know, I think it's going to be night in Afghanistan. So have a good night.